Austin atmosphere, but kind of put it perfectly. He does have a point.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we go again. Here we go again. One person is dead, four people are injured at an overnight shooting at a restaurant in Pflugerville, Texas, which is about 15 minutes northeast of Austin. Um, it was a place called Cajun, Down South Cajun Good Eats. They are known for their Cajun seafood, Cajun dishes. They do Cajun macaroni. I've eaten there before. The food is pretty good, and it's usually a good vibe there. This just is another senseless case of violence in the Black community, particularly, but just in the overall Austin metro area that we don't need. We don't need this type of violence. We don't need these types of, we just don't need this element in the city. It's not good for the city. This doesn't reflect what Austin truly is all about. It doesn't reflect what the real Black community is all about, or just the community of anywhere. It shouldn't reflect. It reflects a degenerate, urban, gang, hood, demon culture. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I don't want to sugarcoat it. I mean, this is something that you have a room full of people in a restaurant celebrating. Probably Cinco de Mayo was yesterday, going into the wee hours, and then it looks like some sort of scuffle, and then someone pulled out a firearm and started shooting. That just, it seems very much turning a mountain into a molehill, if for the old saying, it just seems like it was super unnecessary. I don't know what exactly happened. I don't know who the people were, but I do know one man in his 20s is dead. Another has been apprehended by the police. And then you have these two brothers that own the restaurant that are going to have their business probably in jeopardy. Because let's face it, once someone has a shooting in a restaurant, and especially when there's a loss of life, who's going to want to go and eat there? I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. The investigation is still ongoing, but it's just senseless. It's ridiculous. People can do better. People always say, oh, support Black business this, support Black business that. You know what I support? I support good business. I support safe business. I support business where I can go and have a relaxing time, enjoy company with those that I'm with, maybe even meet some new friends, but I don't want to be constantly looking over my shoulder. And one thing that I've noticed about the place is I've eaten there, like I said, but one thing that I've noticed is they started increasing that hood element into the business. And by that hood element, I mean some of the after hours parties. People were, I went there one night and there was a rapper in town. I'm not going to say who it was, but there was a rapper in town and it was I don't want to say a gangster rapper or none of that, but it was a hood rapper and it had a hood element and you could just feel. I went to go try to get a to-go order and they were like, no, you can't get the to-go order. It's a private party only. And then in the parking lot, I started to know this isn't where I wanted to be anyway. And so I took my business elsewhere. And I just think people can do better. I think these small, minor issues should not result in gun violence. I think it's a vicious cycle. It's not what represents Austin. It's not what represents the Black community. I know people like to get on and say the usual suspects. In some cases, it is the usual suspects, but it's not because they're Black, because people of all races commit crimes. But it's the usual suspects because of their mentality and their attitude and just not using their wit and not just being degenerate for lack of better words and just being under the influence. You have the music going, there's probably some ego, there's probably some jealousy, there's probably just this bravado that is unnecessary. And I'm saying probably, but it's absolutely what it is. It's all of those things. Again, you mix drugs, you mix, music that enhances violent moods, you mix a little bit of jealousy, you mix all sorts of these things, people that may already have issues going on in the street or something. You never know. I don't know what's going on in this case. Like I said, it's ongoing. But again, a 27-year-old person is dead. Another is apprehended and probably going to be spending a very long time behind bars, if not life. And then you have business owners who are trying to do something and curate a vibe, curate a scene around this area in Austin. And you know, it's probably going to be in jeopardy now. So we'll see what happens. But sad situation all around. I would just urge and challenge people, do better. We can do better. You can do better. Just do better. It's your boy Austin. This is my atmosphere. We'll be following the story, keeping you updated. It's just ridiculous. It should stop. It needs to stop now.
Austin atmosphere, but kind of put it perfectly. He does have a point.